It's now my pleasure to introduce to you our December 2012 commencement speaker, Ms. Robin Robinson. Ms. Robinson serves as a member of the Board of Trustees of Mississippi Institutions of Higher Learning and was appointed in 2004 by then-Governor Haley Barbour to a term that expires in May of 2015. She most recently served as president of the board in 2011-2012. In addition to her work with the IHL Board, she is Director of Organization Development and Corporate Communication at Sanderson Farms, Inc. in Laurel, Mississippi. She has been employed at Sanderson Farms since 1978. She is a very active member of her community and really statewide. She is a governor-appointed member of the Mississippi Commission for Volunteer Services, in which she serves as president of the board. By appointment of the governor, she's also served on the Southern Growth Policies Board, the Mississippi Gaming Commission, and the Mississippi Supreme Court Judicial Advisory Study Committee. Ms. Robinson, who holds a bachelor's degree in business administration from the University of Southern Mississippi, has been named as one of Mississippi's leading businesswomen, recognized by Mississippi's YWCA as a woman who makes a difference, and named one of America's 2,000 notable women. Awarded the most distinguished alumni award by the Mississippi-Louisiana Phi Theta Kappa, and inducted into the University of Southern Mississippi Alumni Hall of Fame. Please help me welcome our December 2012 commencement speaker, Ms. Robin Robinson.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, President Borsig, Governor Musgrove, platform guests, special guests, family members who are here, friends, and the very reason we are here today. The members of the first ever in this institution's history since 1884, the first ever December commencement graduates from the W. I think you should give yourselves a hand. Woo-hoo! It's nice to be first in something, isn't it? Well, what a great day to be in Columbus, Mississippi, and at the W. I am deeply honored to be your speaker here today and to be part of this graduation. My role here today is to share with you a very important principle that I practice to ensure my success. Now, I know our speaker who gave you instructions said this was very solemn. It is a very solemn occasion, but are y'all in for having a little fun? Okay, let's try. Are y'all in for having a little fun? Yeah. Good, okay. So this principle that I'm going to tell you about has 3 key ingredients, and if practiced to perfection, will spell success, whatever your definition of success might be. Now listen closely. Those key ingredients are vision, involvement, and persistence. Y'all got that? Okay, so first, let's talk about vision. A vision is a preferred future, something for which you have a burning desire. You, as a matter of fact, all of us in this room, we have seeds of greatness within us. Creating a vision allows you and me and all of us to make those seeds to grow and blossom. When you create a vision, you will be able to accomplish your desires and dreams. Because I want to tell you something, graduates and everyone in the room, what you think, you become. In the book of Proverbs, in the Bible, it is written that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. For centuries, people have been writing about visions and dreams becoming realities. In 1854, Thoreau wrote, "If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams, certainly those dreams will become a reality." Well, as Dr. Borsig said, I graduated college in 1978 and began my career at Sanderson Farms. I've been there a long time. I had decided by 1984, which was also a long time ago, that I wanted to be Director of Organization Development and I wanted to serve on the executive committee. I worked hard to make my vision a reality. Well, to give you a quick history, In 1986, I was named Chief Internal Auditor. In 1995, I was named Human Resources Manager. And finally, in the year 2000, my vision became a reality. I was named Director of Organization Development, and it only took me about 15 years to get my dream job. So, for one of the first audience participations, we're going to get you warmed up. I think I deserve a woohoo. Do y'all know what a woohoo is? Okay, on three, a big woohoo. 1, 2, 3, woohoo! Thank you very much. Good job. By focusing on my vision and making decisions about my life and career based on achieving that vision that I had made back in 1984, the words of the poet James Allen came to life for me. And this is what he wrote. Listen closely. Dream lofty dreams, and as you dream, so shall you become. Your vision is the promise of what you shall one day be. Your ideals is the prophecy of what you shall at last unveil. And I want to focus on that part, at last unveil. It only took me 15 years to unveil my vision, but I did it. Can I get another woohoo? Good. Visualizing or having a vision of what you want is a necessity if you're going to live your life to the fullest. Whatever you think, you will become. Now, the second part of the VIP principle is involvement. We've talked about vision, now we're going to talk about involvement. Once you have that vision, you must become totally involved to the point of making that vision a reality. It is work to make your vision a reality. If you're going to be successful, you must be prepared to work hard. As a matter of fact, in over my half a century of living in this great state of Mississippi, well, actually living at all, I won't tell you how old I am, but over half a century, I have found this to be true. The only place success comes before work is in the dictionary. Can I get a woohoo for that? Okay, so you have your vision, and you've worked hard to develop a plan of action to ensure your vision becomes a reality. You become totally involved in the process. However, being totally involved must evolve to total commitment. You must be totally committed if you are going to succeed. To make the point of the difference between involvement and commitment, I want to share with you a story about Farmer Brown. I have been in the chicken business my whole entire life, so I'm going to talk about chickens and pigs and horses and frogs. Is that okay? Okay. But we're going to start with a story about Farmer Brown. There was a farmer named Farmer Brown, and all the farm animals loved him. So, to show their appreciation, they decided that they would make Farmer Brown a breakfast. The moo cow said, "I'll give the milk." The chicken said, "I'll gladly give the eggs." And the little pig was so excited, he yelled, "I'll give the bacon, I'll give the ham, I'll give the bacon, I'll give the ham." And wait a minute. All of a sudden, he said, "For the chicken and the cow, this breakfast is a what? Involvement. But for me, it is a total commitment." Okay, does everybody know where bacon and ham come from? Okay, good. All right. So, we must have a vision and be involved to the point of total commitment if we are going to make that vision a reality. And as I think about the difference between involvement and total commitment, I think about that little pig, and I hope you will too. In your career, I'm going to give you 4 points now. There are 4 points of total commitment that can make a difference in success, being great, and just being good. Okay. Those 4 points are work ethic, attitude, values, and enthusiasm. I call these 4 points, which I got to name them because I was speaking today, the wave theory. So, to help me emphasize the wave theory, I would like for the room to do a wave. Now, not a beauty pageant wave, but one of those crowd waves. And I have a question for the audience. Would you all like for us to start with the platform guests? I think so. Okay, we're going to practice, and everybody listen up. This is the way it's going to work. We're going to start over here. We're going to go around the platform, over here on this side. Do y'all know what a wave is? Everybody goes, woo. Excellent. Look at this young woman over here with the gold sweater on, sweetheart. The gold sweater. Show them how to do the wave again. Good job. Okay, but you have to stand up. Okay. All right. So, does everybody have it? We're going to practice. So, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Give yourselves a hand. Okay, that was really good. You get a woohoo for that one. However, it's my understanding that they're going to film this. So we need to do it one more time, and we need to do it really, 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 really good, okay? So would you all like to give these platform guests a hand, and also our medalist winners? Thank you, Governor Musgrove. Y'all did an outstanding job. Okay. Okay, this will go down in history at the W, at the first ever December commencement. So, on 3, now y'all remember, we're going to start here, and you don't stand up till these people, okay, we go around the room, like everybody got it. Woo! Or you can, no, I have it, you can say, W! Okay? Okay. All right, are you ready, Christy? 1, 2, 3, W! W! Oh, y'all are good! Woohoo! That was beautiful! That was beautiful! Well, it's another first. That was the best ever wave at any graduation at the W. Congratulations. Good job. Okay, to be successful in your career, you must be committed to these 4 points. So now we know it's the wave. Let's talk about what those points are. The W in wave is for work ethic. Work ethic means putting in an honest day's work for your pay. It means coming to work every day and being on time. It means when your supervisor asks you to do something, or if you're the supervisor, you're asking someone else to do something, you don't have to worry about it, or they don't have to worry about it, because you know that the job will get done. So, if we're going to be successful, we must be committed to a good work ethic. The A in WAVE is for attitude. Now, my sweet daddy, who has a great attitude about life, gave me this quote 2 weeks ago, and this is for real, that he had gotten out of a fortune cookie when he and my mother had gone to eat Chinese food. So he was very pleased that I was going to use this in my speech. And this is what the fortune cookie fortune said. It is your attitude, not your aptitude, that determines your altitude. It is your attitude, not your aptitude, that determines your altitude. So it is your attitude, my attitude, that I guess you could say determines our success. My success, your success in life is greatly affected by our attitude. I would like to share another story with you. One Saturday afternoon, there was a preacher preparing for his sermon on Sunday. His wife needed to run to the grocery store, so she asked her husband, the preacher, to watch their little girl while she was gone, and he replied, and what did he say, ladies? No problem, honey, right? No problem. Well, every 5 minutes, the little girl ran into the study to ask her father a question. After several interruptions, he decided he would never get his work done. So he picked up a magazine and he began flipping through the pages of the magazine, and he noticed a map of the world. So he suddenly had an idea. He called his little girl over to his desk and he said, "I've got a project for you." Well, the little girl's eyes just lit up with excitement. She was going to get to do something for her daddy. The preacher, he ripped the page out of the magazine and then he tore it into several pieces. He tore the magazine page into several pieces, the picture of the world into several pieces. And he placed it on a TV tray with some tape. And he said, "Here, honey, go put the world together for Daddy." Well, the little girl took the TV tray from the room and she was so excited. The preacher settled back into work and he knew that he was going to have his sermon done and his daughter would be busy until his wife returned from the grocery store. Well, 5 minutes passed. 5 minutes. And the little girl came running back into the room and she said, "Daddy, Daddy, look what I've done. Look what I've done." And to his absolute amazement, his daughter had put the world together again and in record time. The preacher looked at the map and he looked at the little girl and then he said, "Sweetheart, how did you do this?" And listen closely. The little girl replied, "Well, Daddy, I noticed when you were ripping the world apart, there was a woman's face on the other side." She said, "I knew where the nose went, I knew where the eyes went, and I knew where the ears went." Y'all are getting it, yeah. So she said, "I just turned it over and I taped the woman together and then the world was together." And the preacher leaned back in his chair and he thought for a moment. He said, "Thank you, honey. You have given me the text for my sermon. If the man or the woman is right, if you have the right attitude, then the world will be right." The V in WAVE stands for values. Values include honesty, integrity, trustworthiness, and respect. And I would like to share some values that I lead out of and how I have learned from my experiences. Growing up, I learned some valuable lessons very early about my values and about living life and having a vision. My first two remembrances came from grade school, and don't worry, we're going to stop at grade school. We're not going to go all the way through. So my first two remembrances came at grade school. Ren Sue Pearson could use a pencil up until it would no longer fit, and I hate to use this word, into an old-timey pencil sharpener that you did like this. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? You know, you couldn't stick the pencil in. Well, she would use her pencil until it wouldn't fit into the pencil sharpener anymore. She would still have the whole eraser intact. I decided that somehow, if she could do all of her work and never make a mistake, I could do it too. So stated in another way, it would be the value of doing things right the first time, so you don't have to spend time, effort, energy, and money to redo. The value of doing things right, I learned from Ren Sue Pearson. That is one of the values that I lead out of, and it has greatly influenced my leadership style. My next remembrance is of piano lessons. How many in the audience have taken piano lessons? Several of you. You all can relate to this. Regina Walters had piano lessons ahead of me. One day, and I remember this as if it were 5 minutes ago, I was sitting outside the door and I overheard Miss Watley, who was the piano teacher, praising Regina on how well she had played her assigned piece. And I was wishing that I had practiced more. I was wishing I had practiced more. Well, to my surprise, the next thing I heard was Regina asking Miss Watley. Regina asked, "Miss Watley, would you like for me to play the next song in my songbook?" I almost fell out of the chair. the next song in the songbook, I could hardly play the assigned songs, and then I had an epiphany. If I was going to be successful in life and in piano, I would have to play ahead in my songbook. So stated in another way, it would be learning the value of not waiting to be told to do something. And the second learning would be the value of doing your homework and being prepared. Personal initiative, doing your homework, being prepared are values that I lead out of, and that has greatly influenced my leadership style. The E in WAVE is for enthusiasm. I'm an enthusiastic person, if you haven't noticed. Albert Einstein wrote, there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. There's one small ingredient that can make a big difference in results, whether it applies to the sports world, the business world, or the social world. This quality will set you out from the rest. It can be the one stroke, that one thing that could mean the big changes in results that gets you the job or gets you the promotion. And it's enthusiasm. In the game of life, enthusiasm can mean the difference between winning and losing. Emerson wrote, nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. Can I get a woohoo? 1, 2, 3, woohoo! Thank you. You were very enthusiastic too. Success means being excited about life, being enthusiastic, thinking optimistically instead of pessimistically, which reminds me of one of my all-time favorite stories. There was a couple who had twins. One twin was a total optimist, always happy, just a joy to be around. Y'all got that picture in your mind, graduates? The other twin was a total pessimist. Never played with his toys because he was afraid he would break them. He wouldn't ride his bicycle because he was afraid he would get hurt. The parents decided that they had to take their children to a psychotherapist. The parents explained to the doctor about the children. They explained one was a total pessimist and one was a total optimist. And the doctor said, I've got it. He grabbed the little pessimist by the hand and took him down the hall, opened the door, and pushed him in a room full of toys. Red fire engines, yellow dump trucks, anything that a little boy would want to play with. He took the little optimist by the hand, led him down the hallway, opened the door, and pushed him in a room full of manure. That's right. That's what I said. Okay. So they went back, the parents and the doctor went back to the office. And they were sitting in the doctor's office, and the parents were very concerned, and they became very fidgety, and the doctor said, okay, let's go check on the children. The first room they went to was the little pessimist. Guess what he was doing? He was sitting in the corner, sucking his thumb. He had not taken advantage of any opportunity afforded him. And the parents thought, oh my goodness. So they ran down the hall, they flung open the door, and the little optimist was in the middle of the room, digging just as hard as he possibly could in the pile of manure. The daddy went over to his son and he said, son, what are you doing? What are you doing? And the little optimist with a gleam in his eye looked up at his daddy and said, Daddy! With a pile of manure this big, there's got to be a pony in there somewhere. There's just got to be. So, the moral of the story is, no matter what life deals you, be enthusiastic, think optimistically, and remember to look for the pony. So the 4 things that you must be totally committed to are a commitment to a good work ethic, a commitment to a great attitude, a commitment to rock-solid values, and a commitment to a large dose of enthusiasm. The last part of the VIP principle is persistence. Once you have your vision, you have your plan of action, you're involved to the point of commitment, you must be prepared to overcome any obstacles by having persistence. Calvin Coolidge, the 30th President of the United States, said, Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination are alone omnipotent. The slogan, "Press on," has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. This statement made by President Coolidge is very eloquent and very powerful. Being persistent, pressing on, will solve our problems and help us to achieve our vision. Remember, it took me 15 years to get to my dream job. Okay, I'm going to take you all back to high school. You've been at grammar school, now we're going to high school. In 1973, as a high school junior, I was learning to type on a Selectric electric typewriter. Some of you remember that? Okay. I was being brainwashed along with thousands of other typing students. And I want to show you what I mean. So to help me with this part of the presentation, all of those of you who took typing, I would like for you to help me complete these two statements. We're going to do them one at a time. We typed over and over and over again these two statements. Are you all ready? Ready? When the going gets tough. Woohoo! That's right, honey. Or, are you ready for this one? A winner never quits. Right. A lesson in persistence as well as typing. I want to share with you a story about a frog. This story is not nearly as eloquent or profound as the quote from President Coolidge, but it paints a poignant picture. The title of the story is "The Winner Never Quits." Two boys were walking down a country road when they came upon a small freight loading platform on which there were 2 cans of milk to be loaded for delivery to a nearby city. The boys looked around, and seeing no one, they lifted off the milk can number 1, and they dropped in a large bullfrog. Then they looked around, and they lifted the lid off of milk can number 2 and dropped in another large bullfrog. The boys continued down the country road. The milk cans were picked up for delivery. And during the journey, the bullfrog in can number 1 said, "This is terrible. I can't lift the lid off. I can't get out." He gave up trying and quit. Then, when the lid to the can number 1 was taken off, guess what was found? A big dead bullfrog. I told you it painted a poignant picture, didn't I? Well, the same conditions existed in can number 2. The bullfrog in can number 2 said, "I can't lift the lid off. I don't have a drill bit to let the milk out. What am I going to do?" He said, "I know, I can swim." So he swam, and 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 he churned a lump of butter. And he sat proudly on that lump of butter. When the lid off of can number 2 was removed, the world recorded the largest frog broad jump ever. He jumped out of that can. He jumped out of that can. And I will say to you again in all seriousness, the winner never quits, and the quitter never wins. Persistence is a key to your success. Vision, involvement, persistence. The VIP principle, if practiced to perfection, will spell success for you. So, I understand that I have to give you a challenge, graduates, and here it is. My challenge to you, the first ever December 2012 graduates of the W, is that you continue eagerly living your life to its fullest with a great vision for your future, that you will be enthusiastically involved in life with a commitment to seize every opportunity and enjoy every opportunity that comes your way, and that you will be persistent. Never, ever, ever, ever give up. Congratulations and best wishes as you practice the VIP principle. It's been an honor and a privilege to be with you and to share in this joyous occasion. Thank you very much. Woo-hoo! Thank you.